Mods, mods, mods!
How do you like it? How do you like it?
Mods, mods, mods!
How do you like it? How do you like it?
Seriously though, how do you like it? I wanna talk about it. Hello everyone, my fellow hunters, and with PC ever looming, a long-loved established franchise getting its first fledgling flight on the greatest gaming platform that exists on the PC. And given it's synonymous with modding, the question then remains, if it was to ever happen in Monster Hunter, would it be a worthy addition, or would it be besmirching of a thing sacred? Though obviously we're not going to get an official mod support Steam Workshop for Monster Hunter, and well, actually, does that make you go, oh, phew, or does it make you go, oh, that's kind of the crux of what I want to discuss today? Because I really am in two minds. I mean, when I see something like this, initially I'm like, that's okay, that's hilarious. But then I'm also like, what are you doing? That hunts are supposed to be man versus beast in a sacred trial by combat, you barbarian! How dare you! Though to me, I'd argue that's more of just an exploit than a mod. I don't care if you click download and install mod. If the mod is you do infinite damage, fuck off, right? That's not, that's not a mod. A mod is making your Palico a great Jagras, which, now that we need mods. We need mods in Monster Hunter right now. I have to say though, I think Monster Hunter as a platform has insane potential for talented, creative modders to really enrich the experience for everyone. I mean, let's imagine a happy, mythical, optimistic timeline where someone is like, hey guys, I just spent a month making a new monster. It's fully implemented. You can hunt it if you grab my mod. What do you think? Well, I'm gonna check this out. Oh my, wow. Whoa! This monster is incredible. That happening isn't such a bad thing to me. Even a whole new weapon. Or hell, look at layered armor systems. Being able to grab modded custom layered armor from a pool of cool looking, uniquely built sets by the community, I don't think that's necessarily a bad experience. But we are getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. What you've been seeing is on the PS4, a little bit of game file tomfoolery. But let's be honest, on PC, people are going to go deep into Monster Hunter and give it a little bit of a fiddle. And really, do we want our Monster Hunter deeply fiddled? Ain't that the question? You have the fact that it is ultimately not a competitive game, right? It doesn't matter what your fellow hunters are doing, it doesn't affect you. Outside of you join a hunt, you SOS, someone comes in and then one-shots your target and you're like, great, I didn't want to have fun anyway, you asshole. Like, that is where it poses a problem. But I'll admit, I'm ultimately struggling to find a single negative to allowing people to go mental modding the game, if we include the clause that mods are ubiquitously disabled the second you go online. Play offline and become a great Jagras walking around a Astera while the commander looks like an Aptonoth. Who cares? Knock yourself out, it's not affecting me, right? The same way that it doesn't affect me when other people get an attack duel. I don't mind, because it doesn't affect me, and I think that should ultimately apply to mods that aren't really abusing the game. But even if somebody is ruining their own fun by running around pressing a button and all monsters on the map dies,
doesn't matter to me. But I don't begrudge anyone who's of the, well, I mean, I think you should have to earn your equipment and decorations and augments, and if you just get them all by one-shotting monsters, or hell, skipping that and just essentially editing them into your game, it's like, I don't want to play with people that just ruin all the fun for themselves, then come online in their perfect everything, but still cart 3 times in 30 seconds because their parents don't love them. And that would be a big toxic divide in the community. But the thing is, that's also solved by having restrictions on what you can and can't do when it comes to modding, how much freedom they have to change the game. You just prohibit anything that would make a unmodding player go, well, this is bullshit, I'm just gonna, I can't, like, this feels unfair. I'm just gonna put these mods on and quickly farm my decorations. Like, what the hell? Why should I have to do it the hard way? Like, as long as nothing exists that makes someone feels like that, then you're okay. And plenty of games do successfully and effectively have a proper police system on their modded content to prevent these hostile feelings from being generated. So, at the end of the day, I feel like if you have that restriction, coupled with all mods are disabled when you go online, unless somebody hosts a specific I'm cool with mods lobby, so everyone can go grab this awesome custom hunt you found that spawns every monster in the game at once on the map, and it's just chaotic fun, and they've also upped the player limit to 8, and haha, this is just ridiculous. Even just being able to go, yeah, I'm gonna get this one that makes Tsuyaku the size of Zora Magdaros, so you get blinded in real life. I think essentially the ability to have good, genuine fun, such as, yeah, I want my handler to have the body of the Admiral. That's how I want to experience my game. Okay, that awakens something in me I didn't know I had.
Mixed signals, they're killing me. I don't know what you are.
But I don't think the few people that will always try and abuse the system and find loopholes should prevent a system that, for the greater whole, enhances the experience when otherwise it would have run dry. Because look, mods have this magical property of giving incredible moments and longevity to a game that otherwise, well, wouldn't have them. And while Monster Hunter is already a super replayable game, of course it is, most of us have, well, let's just not look at our account, alright? That's a lot of productivity we did not do. But we have, well, the greatest example of, obviously, Warcraft generating Dota. And while I don't think Monster Hunter is ever going to get close to something like that, even if it had all the modding power in the world, it's still something really awesome to think about. Just the slight little changes you could make. You know for a fact there would be, slowly but surely, every old monster modded into world via some very dedicated and talented people. Hell, there's even a good chance that someone's going to be like, yeah, for the past year, me and a team have been working on an entire new map that feels, wow, this could be a woohoo! And that's possible. At least it would be with true modding support and tools. So, look, I am struggling to find a reason, as long as the proper precautions are in place to not ruin other people's fun, to ever completely write off this potential. The only reasons left really are keep Monster Hunter pure, which, look, I can get behind. I adore this series and what it has done. But look, let's be honest, keep Monster Hunter pure kind of falls away when you look at every Monster Hunter compared to World. It's night and day different. The core is still there. It still feels like a Monster Hunter game, but it has been evolved in nearly every way. It makes it so hard to go back and play the other games because it just feels like a huge step backwards for me. So I don't think that's entirely... I mean, granted, obviously mods are more extreme than that, but still, it definitely is something to consider. And I also don't think the argument, this guy is doing it, I'm not, but I don't want to, so therefore he shouldn't be able to. I think that's arguably quite a petty reason to not want something like this in the game. Again, as long as it doesn't negatively affect your experience. And look, of course, we have to look forward to the inevitable nude mods for Meowscular Chef.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. So let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel.
Which I guess would just be his fur is gone? I didn't really think that one through. Oh, my word. Now, look, this isn't some hot button issue. It's not like they announced that modding's gonna happen or it never will, and there's this huge community argument over whether that's the right decision. It's simply a fun little thought experiment that I like to have, and one that I think is rather relevant with it appearing on PC, properly a main series title, for the first time, because it's always going to be at the back of people's minds, imagine if I could just change this. And at the good end of the spectrum, if we look at the potential, it's undeniably sky high, and I think on balance, the pros of a Monster Hunter with full mod support vastly outweigh the cons, with some little bits of control to try and keep things on the straight and narrow. You'd have people modding it so you can play as your Palico for a World Prowler experience. You'd have people putting in a PvP mode, which would be quite funny. I've always wondered how the weapons and their movesets would work in a competitive environment. I think it would be, like, technically awful, but it would certainly be a blast while you experience the clusterfuck it would probably ultimately devolve into. But there's just a lot of neat little, oh, wouldn't it be cool to try this, that someone modding would allow you to. I mean, the amount of model swaps, like, you gotta consider, obviously, you'd have lots of behemoth-esque additions as people hungrily put in their favourite creatures from all around, which again wouldn't inherently be a poor experience. You could even separate it from the main game and have another option on the menu, mods, and then you go on it and you can experience all the custom stuff people have made, and it's just fully blocked off from ever infecting the main game, your actual save file. Like, it's just a whole other section independent of your overall arcing progress, which might actually be a really sensible way to do it. Imagine if mods were displayed like the list of event quests. You just choose the one you want to do, and mods are limited to things that can be experienced in that way. So that does make it less open the spectrum, but look, event tab, and then I want to go down and I want to fight this guy's custom monster, and look, he's using the arena type setup, so I can choose his custom armor set as well, and oh look, he's made my greatsword 5 times the length! And let's do it! That might be a nice way to not make it completely take over, but add essentially an extra element to the overall experience. So, essentially, let me know what you think. I want to know, if I told you, yes, mod support's coming to Monster Hunter, what would be your response? Let's get some lovely discussion going down in the comments. I adore making videos like this, and I'd love to know if you do enjoy listening to them too. But for now, my name has been Josh. Like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more, hit that bell and all of that stuff, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye.
Rage Gaming with the video float.
But that's all that's really relevant at the mo, but I'm still gonna leave this up so you patrons know that I love you even though the outro's no longer that kind of relevant. But the new one's being worked on and it's gonna be a truly badass song, and don't worry, I won't be doing any rapping on it. I'm gonna go now. This was shit.